Yes.
Hello. Kwame.
Not the other one.
Sorry, I'm not a fan of anything like that. I'll let you know now. Kwame left some tickets for me.
He left some tickets. He left no tickets,
Are
miss.
you sure?
There are no
Can you
tickets
please
in
check
this.
the list?
I'll check the list. He has no one on his list tonight.
Fake, she's alright. Come on.
She's okay?
See,
Okay.
I told you.
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
know this music video. I'm already trying to guess it. Kwame. Yeah, man. Kwame, only you. You know, I went through my whole Afrocentric hip-hop time, too. I had the Gumby cut, a little bit of blonde in my hair. I'm not ashamed to admit it. This was conscious hip-hop before conscious hip-hop. Danny Morrison Show, let's go. Pump that, give me some juice,
You
man.
know, we've been together for some time, and I've been experiencing some kind of feelings that's changed and rearranged for the better. And I hope that you've been feeling the same way, and pray that you ain't running game. Hey, just what do you have to say?
As I sit here thinking about you, suddenly I feel ashamed.
And you do?
The feelings deep inside me suddenly begin to change. When I see your face and hear your voice, I seem to lose despair. I get relaxed and overjoyed whenever you are near. Who can make me do the things I do? Who can make me bring the world to you?
You were checking out the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA, Talk 1580. Wow, phone lines are on fire right now. I appreciate you guys jumping in tonight. I think we're going to have a really, really great conversation. For those that are blazing up the phone lines right now, unless you want to talk to our incoming Pulse 101 guest, hit us at the top of the hour, and we will bring you in. We will continue the discussion, okay? You've heard many of my Pulse 101 interviews on my show with people that I feel have their fingers on the pulse of Black America. And tonight, you get another boost to Black brilliance and excellence with interviews with people that I feel that you need to know. He's an executive coach and author certified by the Les Brown Institute and Center for Executive Coaching. His speaking has been described as electrifying, riveting, inspirational, and thought-provoking. Through keynote speaking and coaching, he inspires and empowers leaders to leverage change, challenge, and disruption on the way to miraculous results. Terrence has 25 years of corporate sales experience. He's been nationally recognized for sales excellence by Pepsi-Cola, GlaxoSmithKline, Pharmaceuticals, and Legal Shield. In the latter, his leadership led to a thriving international sales organization of 7,000 independent agents. His story epitomizes resilient leadership. His survival following a life-threatening moment truly earned him the moniker Miracle and serves as a catalyst for his impactful journey. He earned his undergraduate in business management as a master's in organizational management. He's a member of the Les Brown Maximum Achievement Team and the National Speakers Association. He authored the book In Different Strokes, Embracing Life's Adversities, which he will tell you how to copy yourself by the end of the conversation, I'm sure. And for more information on the greatness of this cat, which might include some audio assistance from a man you might know, here's a little more breakdown on Terrence Miracle Minoy. Listen.
I brought Terrence in to inspire and breathe life into my audience, and he did. He captivated them. Hello.
The first thing that struck me when I spoke with him was how genuine he was.
Hey, check it out. I've known this cat for practically my entire life. He turned a tragedy into triumph, and I'm bringing him on today because I believe his message can uplift us all as we navigate through our own respective crises. His speaking has been described as, quote, electrifying, riveting, inspirational, and thought-provoking. The man with the master plan, Terrence Miracle Minoy.
Everybody feel good?
I want to help you take that mess that maybe you have and make it your message or your ministry.
Ladies and gentlemen, inspiring individuals to pursue their highest human potential, performance, and impact. Inside my Post 101 resilient leadership keynote speaker, Terrence Miracle Minoy. Let's go! What's going on? I got you, King. You know how we do. Come on.
Man, let me tell you, I've been hearing this for years. I've been watching you for years, obviously. We pretty much grew up together, man, but I'm still just so elated by just your wordplay, your energy over all of this time, man. So thank you so much. Always an honor to be with you, my friend, and always an honor to speak to the masses, brother. Appreciate you.
Man, come on now. You know the feeling is mutual. You should have heard Terrence and I going back and forth on the phone. He was like, hey, is this what you call me? You said, is this the superstar or whatever? I said, no, I'm talking to the superstar, right? You said, no, it's you. I said, no, it's you. You said, no, it's you. I want to say to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it's you.
Thank you for the kind words, but I've been watching you forever because people don't know. My boy used to ball. Where are you? Boise State, right?
Yeah, man. I went to Idaho State University.
Idaho State, I'm sorry.
Out of high school, man. I got a scholarship there, man, and play a little ball. And I had a little game back in the day.
Uh-oh. Andy's asking, what year were you there?
Man, probably before Andy was born. Let's see. I was there. 1990 was my freshman year. I was there for a couple of years before transferring out.
You remember Terrence Minoy? He was a baller, man. Yeah, he was a baller, no doubt, man. I really appreciate you. I need you tonight, T, for real, because this is one of those episodes I bring to the masses of my audience here, to let them know that they are not by themselves, and regardless of how dark it may seem in their lives, there's a light on the other side. And so when I thought about doing the show today, I said, who could I bring on that I haven't brought on already that could come in and blaze up the microphone the way that they do? And that is you. So how are you, first of all?
Hey, man, I'm doing super fantastic. I'm doing even better that I get to see you on YouTube.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that until I tuned into the show about 45 minutes ago. I said, well, my boy is on YouTube. How did I miss that? And so it's great to actually see you on the screen, man. I look forward to being there in person at some point for us to share that energy.
We got to make that happen in the next couple months and get you up in here live. They don't want, I don't know, they may have to call the fire department if you and I are in the same room. I don't know.
Absolutely, man. But I am doing absolutely fantastic and just excited to be here as well.
Honored to have you on. We're talking to Terrence Miracle Minoy inside my Post 101 Danny Morrison show, KBLA Talk 1580. I ask everybody that comes on, you probably remember because I've been doing it for years. What is your 25th letter? What is your why? Why do you do what you do?
Man, you know what? I tell you what. My first of all, my why is my daughter. She's 14 years old now. She's her name is Taylor, and Taylor Minoy, and she is definitely my why for pretty much everything that I started when it came to a business venture and my purpose. But obviously, after the story that I'll share in a second, my purpose has really become my why. My urgency to make sure that I maximize my potential, my God-given talent, is now the why that I have in every aspect of life for me.
You know, I hate to bring this to you. This is off topic. I wasn't even going to talk about it, but we've kind of touched on our beliefs tonight. I have a series going on the Danny Mo Show where we're pretty much unpacking what it means to believe, regardless of which faith you have, what it means to actually believe. You have gone through a crisis, like you said. You'll get into it in a second. Do you think that you can have? Is it possible to have faith in the human consciousness rather than an actual heavenly being? Because there's some people that say, I believe in something, I just don't know what I believe in. You just gave it to God. Does it always have to be a heavenly being when you say, I have faith?
You know, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. No, the answer is no. I believe that you can. Again, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. But I totally, because of the many audiences and many people that I've spoken to across the country,
right, and
the people who've come up and asked me questions after events and things like that, I do believe that a person can have that type of faith without having necessarily a biblical impression of it.
Yeah, I've told the story on the broadcast before how I was at a school in your hometown, and I was up there. I always mention God. I never specific on who I serve, but I mentioned God and the principal after. I burned the room up. The kids were just really cheering. We were having a good time, right? The entire ceremony's over. Principal comes up and goes, you can't be mentioning God when you come in here. You know what I said to her? Then don't invite me back.
Yeah, don't invite you back here.
And she didn't, but she didn't. But I'm going to give God the praise. I'm not going to be very specific on what my denomination is, but I'm going to be very specific that there should be some higher power you should pay attention to and aspire to be. Is that not true?
Absolutely. You know, what's funny about that is that when companies hire me, some of them, once they vet my website, I don't say a lot of stuff about God and anything, but if you go on YouTube, you can see some stuff. You can read some of my story. Some will ask me not to mention it as you know, maybe not preach a sermon, basically, right?
Yeah.
And, of course, I don't do that. They're paying me not to do so as well, so I make sure I respect that. But I totally understand what the situation that you had at the school.
Yeah. 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, first I will get the top 5 dead or alive from Mr. Terrence Miracle Manoy. I haven't asked him. I'll ask you now. You can tell me on the other side. I want you to give me your top 5 favorite motivational speakers ever. I want you to give me those.
Ooh.
I know what number 1 is because you work for him. So we already know what's up on number 1. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Answer on the other side, 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. We're inside my Pulse 101 with Terrence Miracle Manoy. Y'all got to hear this story, too. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA, stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. From middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis or RA. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a pill for adults with moderate to severe RA when tumor necrosis factor blockers did not work well or could not be tolerated. Xeljanz can help relieve joint pain, swelling, and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Don't start if you have one. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers including lymphoma and lung, blood clots, serious heart-related events, tears in the stomach or intestines, and allergic reactions have happened. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of death. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, are prone to infections, or have ever had a heart attack, stroke, clot, or other heart problems, or swelling of lips, tongue, throat, or hives. Ask your doctor about prescription Xeljanz. Visit Xeljanz.com or call 1-844-XELJANZ.
The pandemic may be over, but many Angelinos could be at risk of losing the place they call home. It's important to know your rights as a residential renter in the city of LA. Did you know eviction protection still exists for unpaid COVID-19 rental debt that was due before March 31st, 2023? And that you have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice, also known as an unlawful detainer. Learn more about your rental rights at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically black university. Congratulations, South LA, and congratulations to the dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Protho-Stith. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. That's cdrewu.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
In conversation right now inside my Pulse 101, Terrence Miracle Manoy, the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580, top 5 dead or alive, King. Your category, 5 favorite motivational speakers ever. Go.
I'm going to start at number 5. Number 5 would be E.T.
Oh, that's my number 1 right there. Come on.
I got to go with E.T. And mainly E.T. I like his energy. E.T. yells at you quite a bit.
Yeah.
But you know, I like it. I like that hip hop energy that he has. Number 4 would be Dr. Willie Jolly. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Dr. Willie Jolly, Jolley. Number 3 Mr. Jim Rohn.
Oh, come on now.
R-O-H-N.
Yeah, I know him.
R-O-H-N. Trust me, the foundation really of my personal development growth and journey over 20 plus years ago started with Mr. Jim Rohn. Number 2, Inky Johnson. I'm sure most people know who Inky Johnson is. He's a gentleman that was injured in a football accident back in the day, so one of his arms he can't use it at all right now. Great speaker. And number 1, obviously, is my man, the legend, Les Brown. You got to be hungry. Les Brown. That's my guy right there. That's who I was trained under. I watched him and was trained under him, certified as a speaker by Les Brown, and really a great gentleman to know.
He actually had a limited series here on KBLA a few months ago, and it was absolutely fantastic.
Right.
He is amazing.
I caught that a couple times.
Yeah, Les Brown is he as amazing in person as he is over the air?
He is. You know, he's always smiling. He's always energy, smiling when you see him, and he acts like he has like you can be not seeing for 5 years, and he acts like you just saw each other yesterday. You know, it's like you don't miss the energy.
Wow. Love it. Talking to Terrence Miracle Manoy, KBLA Talk 1580. All right, T, you may be fully aware how we do, but for the new listeners out there, this is how we get down. I need you tonight, because I usually bring clips featuring a number of topics that have been bubbling within the black zeitgeist over the past few days. I will play a clip in reference to each of the topics. Exactly. Go ahead, drink up, y'all. In reference to each of the topics I've chosen, share my thoughts immediately thereafter, and we would exchange dialogue accordingly, but not tonight. I need them to hear your words of encouragement and to be uplifted tonight. But before we begin and you tell that story, I want to get your opinion on what was my primary topic of conversation tonight. What advice would you give to those who are having a tough time finding shelter within the storm these days? People that can't seem to find peace, what words of encouragement could you sprinkle on them tonight?
You know, that's a great question, and I get asked that quite a bit. I get emails and things like that people ask me how to do that. And the first thing, I wrote an ebook years ago, and it's called Reset, R-E-S-E-T. The R is for rest or recharge. So the first thing is, usually when people are in a crisis, man, sometimes we kind of run around with our heads like a chicken with our head cut off, trying to make life happen, trying to fix everything right then. I'm saying, let's be still for a second. Be still, calm, so you can think clearly about your next move. The E is for evaluate. Evaluate your current situation. Is it really as bad as what you're making it to be? Is there other resources out there that can possibly help you get through the situation instead of you trying to handle it yourself? A lot of times we go through things, man, we think we're the only one, so we try to do it ourselves. So let's really evaluate where we are. The S is strategize. Now, what are we going to do? What's our next move? We always try to make these big moves and stop thinking about the small pivots that we can make in our lives to improve our situation in every area of our life. The E is expectancy, having high expectancy. You got to expect to win. You know, I know that's tough to do when you're in a bad place. But I tell you, when I share my story, you'll see that I've actually practiced exactly that, having high expectancy even when you're in a dark place. And the T is for take action, right? We can plan stuff, you can strategize, and hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But until we take a step, until we take action, absolutely nothing will happen. So first things first, guys, let's be still. Let's think, think clearly. Let's not be irrational about what our next move is going to be. Let's listen to the word, right? Listen to that voice. Listen to the universe, or whatever you want to call it. Listen to God, right, about what your next step should be in your life, and then take it from there. So reset, R-E-S-E-T. R-E-S-E-T. By the way, where can they cop that book if they want that? Okay, so when you get my In Different Strokes book.
Well, we're going to get into that one, too. I just figured we're going to get into that one, too. I just figured we get into the first one. Go ahead and tell them where to go. Okay, it's it used to be. It's not online anymore. It's only in the book. So that's what I'm saying, Danny, on that. As far as, again, that was an e-book. Again, it's not online anymore. It's actually in the book in the back. Gotcha. While you were breaking down Reset just now, love that acronym. Absolutely fantastic. Man, these young bucks out here, you got to be seeing the same thing I'm seeing. When you and I were coming up, I mean, there was some brothers in the neighborhood that we just automatically respected. Remember the OGs in the neighborhood, regardless of what type of dirt they were involved in? We listened to them cats. Matter of fact, I had a couple OGs in our neighborhood would send my behind home because they'd be like, Danny, you shouldn't be out here. You shouldn't be hanging around with these kids, and you need to take your behind home. You are not going to be here for long. You need to get up out of here. How can we get your message of empowerment and inspiration to these young bucks, especially when they ain't even trying to hear it?
Man, I know it's tough to do. You know, for us, Danny, we weren't as distracted as even the kids are today, right? We didn't have social media. We didn't have phones and all of that stuff. So it was a lot of belly to belly, right? We got to see people face to face and have real serious conversations, see the look in people's eyes and things like that. So I know people are really distracted now. I think what we have to do is not stop, putting the message out there. So it's funny. I always tell people, look, I just want to be a commercial, right? So I don't want to take too much of your time, but every day or every other day, if I can get 30 seconds to 1 minute of your time, and that's continuing to put the message out there. Don't give up. Stand optimistic, because there are some kids out there that do want to do the right thing. There are some kids on the right path right now. There are some kids that are fighting against the forces that want to take them the other way. There are kids out there like you and I, right?
Yeah.
That we could have went the other way, but we just listened to that one, fireman who came in and spoke to the class, right? We heard that one little message, and that kind of helped us pivot, right? And it's the same thing us as OGs now, right?
Yeah.
We can just give that one. It's that one message, that one word, that one guy, that one girl that we make sure this message with, and they take it to the masses from there, brother. So I would just say, let's just stay optimistic. Let's continue to be a commercial. Let's not get tired. Let's not get weary. Continue to share this message of positivity.
We're talking to Terrence Miracle Manoy, Pulse 101, Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Do you find, because we were talking earlier in the broadcast about how should people take marriage advice from someone like Steve Harvey, who's been married like 15 times or something? I'm exaggerating, of course, but do you find that when people absorb your message, you have to come from experience in order to tell them what they should be doing with their lives? Because I got a little pushback when I went into the prisons from some of the gang-affiliated cats in there. They'd be like, you been in a gang before? I'd be like, nah, I haven't. You don't know what you're talking about. I go, why wouldn't my message be a positive message on how to stay away from gang activity? They want to know that you've been there, done that. Do you think you got to have your stripes when you talk to these young people for your message to break through?
No, you don't. Absolutely. Now, of course, authenticity, coming from that place, that's always going to perk up ears, maybe a little bit more. But if people really see in your eyes, feel it in your energy, hear it in your voice, how genuine you are about seeing them turn the corner in their lives, and honest, and also sharing your genuine story. Here's the deal. I wasn't in a gang, but I tell you what, I was surrounded by gangs on a daily basis in the neighborhood in Bakersfield, California, as you know.
Absolutely.
Right? And so, and we gained a little respect because some of us were athletes and things like that. So we may not have done the mess with the guys, but, when they chilled out, we were there chit-chatting, hanging out, hearing the stories and things like that as well. So I definitely don't think you have to, have the stripes to necessarily have a message that can actually pierce the heart of some of those folks that are hardened out there.
It's funny you say that because I've been asked multiple times in my career, Danny, how did you do it? Because I tell them where we came from. We came from the RC block, Cheatham and Reese, Cottonwood Road, Southeast Bakersfield. And one of the roughest cities I tell people one of the roughest cities in Central Cali, not just in Kern County. I'm talking about Central Cali back then. And they always go, Danny, how did you do it? How do you personally, how do you tell people that you were able to overcome and ignore all of the outside forces that are trying to drag you into gang activity and also send you through the cradle to prison pipeline? How did you overcome and not jump into that area of the population?
The first thing I do, man, is I let people know that I'm not judging them. I think that's the key thing where people will also listen to you. Let them know, look, I'm not judging you. I totally understand where you're coming from. I understand why you probably did what you did. But let me tell you, this is why I didn't do it. This is why I didn't go that way. And for me, hey, I grew up in my mom, God rest her soul. She raised me in the church. She made sure I was involved in athletics. And, I had my ups and downs. I was a teenage father and things like that as well. And so I had my challenges, but for whatever reason, man, I listened to the OGs as well. watching their story, listening, learning from them, saying, hey, I don't want to go that route in my life the way some of the other guys did. You know, one of the scariest things for me was to get a Division I scholarship to play basketball and not get a college degree. You want to know why I say that, Danny? Because so many guys before us got Division I scholarship to play basketball, and they came back and, you know, they didn't get the degree out of it.
Right.
So basically, man, I just wanted to make sure that I follow, you know, I didn't follow certain examples, right? And then I said I wanted to be an example of success following some of the things that we went through in the hood. In the projects, by the way, East 11th Street. You didn't say that.
I'm sorry. I was RC like you was East 11th Street. I'm sorry. My bad. We were both in East Bakersfield, though. I mean, come on now. You know, any city, wherever the east side of town is, that's where we at, usually, right?
That's true. That's true. That's absolutely true, man. It's like wherever I travel, the east side is the place. For sure.
Last question. We got a couple minutes here before we get to the bottom of the hour, real quick here. So talk about them Denver Nuggets real quick. What you think? Are they gonna start a run real fast? And are they gonna be like the Golden State Warriors? They won that first one and they'll reel off 3 in a row, or is this a one and done?
No, man. It's one and done for them, man. We're not gonna see them win the championship again. You know, they look good and everything, but and I know they did my Lakers really dirty.
Yeah, they did.
But you know, we were vulnerable at that point. Hey, I'm proud of what my Lakers were able to do this season. But back to the Denver Nuggets, wonderful, great team, but I don't see them, you know, winning like 2 of the next 4 type thing. I don't see it. Oh, no. All right.
We will continue this conversation on the other side. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, I want him to break down his story. As you all know, I also went through a life-changing experience to where it was an actual near-death experience. And T went through it years ago, and he is still here to tell his entire story. On the other side, when we come forward, I want you to hear his story and how he overcame and is now using that experience to inspire others literally all over the world. 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. Your inside conversation inside my Post 101. Terrence, Miracle, Manoy, Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580 right now. This is your news and traffic. Check it out.
Genius to know I care for you. Love, cherish, respect, and always be there for you. Why not? It's quite simple. A love affair like this, I can truly get my heart into. Haven't you? Cause you're my morning flower. For you, I get my fortune, fame, and power. No, I'm not kidding. But shouldn't we just enjoy this and take it as it is? You do? So do I. Don't you see that you're the apple in my sleepy eyes? My dear, I must confess that I'm your love slave and you're my empress.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton, and here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The man accused of killing a homeless black man with a chokehold in a New York City subway has released a video statement through his attorneys. In the series of videos, Daniel Penny recounts his thoughts leading up to the encounter that resulted in Jordan Neely's death on May 1st. Penny says he was not trying to kill Neely, but just to restrain him until police arrived. Penny has been charged with manslaughter in Jordan Neely's death and is due back in court July 17th. The White House is shining the spotlight on NCAA championship athletes. Vice President Kamala Harris hosted more than 1,000 student athletes for the first ever College Athlete Day at the White House. She praised the athletes for their commitment to their sports and for being leaders and role models. President Biden was initially set to host the college champions, but had to cancel due to having a root canal done at the White House. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A., copyright 2023.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands for Unity and Healing. African Focus Incorporated is a nonprofit organization based in California that focuses on the growth and well-being of Africans all around the world. Their mission is to promote the well-being of people of African descent through knowledge and appreciation of one another by building a bridge of love and understanding. African Focus Incorporated strives for cultural, educational, and economic growth. They're the organization behind the African Family Induction Ceremony, African Goodwill Awards, African Focus Trailblazer Tours, African Dance Competition, and Showcase Los Angeles, Family Day, Good News Windows Microfinance Project, and more. To volunteer, travel with African Focus, or to attend one of their community building events, please call 310-676-7730. That's 310-676-7300. Or visit AfricanFocus.org. This is a diaspora-wide community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Moments like hearing my cat purr good morning mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars, working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage, career-track jobs. The Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing around anti-discrimination, learn about union apprenticeship programs, or sign on to a trade registry, please visit www.lablackworkerscenter.org. That's lablackworkerscenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh yeah, love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingaroner, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's go. kind of love. From the... Is that from the Nothing But Love album? I'm not sure. What's up? No? You don't know? I don't know. But who also, by the way, should have been on that top 50 Billboard and Vibe magazine top 50 rappers of all time list. What album is that? It's not Nothing But Love? Black Coffee, No Sugar, No Cream? I don't know. Should have been on that list. He should have been on that list. Eve should have been on that list. Eazy-E should have been on that list. May should have been on that list. I can go on forever. Don't get me started. Let's get Terry Minoy back up in it. Terry, do you agree? Dude, I don't know if you heard that top 50 rappers of all time list that Billboard and Vibe magazine put out. Man, they didn't have some of the MCs. I'm like, are you serious? Hello?
I didn't see it. Can you hear me, Danny? I didn't see it. I didn't hear about it.
Oh my God! They had Jay-Z at number 1, and they had Kendrick Lamar at number 2. You agree with that? And
yeah, I actually would maybe go Kendrick above Jay-Z, to be honest with you.
Wow. You need to hang up on him right now. I can't believe he just said that. That's blasphemy right there. We wasn't talking about God tonight, but God. I can't believe he just said that. Are you kidding me? Give me a break. He's my generation, Andy, and he had the nerve to say that. Is that crazy? Yeah. Andy said you got to explain yourself. I mean, I know we on the West Coast. How could you say Kendrick is better than Jay-Z? Come on now.
Man, come on, man. First of all, Kendrick's last album was phenomenal. I went to a concert. I was just blown away by this gentleman and the things that, his wordplay is sick. So I love Jay-Z. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating. I like Kendrick a little bit. Maybe it's because he's a little more recent right now. Maybe just I've been listening to him more recently. How about that?
Okay. I got you. By the way, inside the thread right now, my girl, Shantae Brown, is in the thread right now on YouTube, who I cannot believe has not reached out to me since I got into Los Angeles a couple years ago. Shantae, you better holler at your boy. That's all I'm saying. And she said, great show. Appreciate you. Let's get into it because everybody's been waiting. I would be remiss if I didn't have you share your miraculous story with my audience. So tell them how you almost met your maker, came back to life, and are now doing what God has brought you here to do. Terrence Miracle Minoy.
Danny, audience, February 9th, 2015. In Los Angeles, I actually made a post. I was listening to a rap station that day. It was Pusha T and somebody else. And one of the lines said, ask Steve Jobs, wealth don't buy you health. I'm going to repeat that. Wealth don't buy you health. I actually posted that on Facebook. I just thought that was so profound, not knowing that in 24 hours, I would be fighting for my own life. I was walking through a mall with a friend of mine, and all of the energy from my body was zapped. I literally had to sit down immediately. How could this happen to me? I just finished working out. Pretty healthy guy, ate pretty well. That was called a TIA. That was called a warning stroke. I had no idea, but it actually gave me a blind spot right there on the spot. I didn't know that at the time. Within 24 hours, I was at home laying in bed watching TV, and all of a sudden the room started spinning. I couldn't control my body. I tried to stand up. I found myself on the floor. I felt my face contorting. I yelled out for my son, Devin. Luckily, he was there at my house. The EMTs came and got me, took me to the hospital. As they were looking me over and examining me, telling me, hey, you definitely had a stroke. Guess what, Danny?
What?
Guess what, audience? I had another stroke.
Oh, my God.
The clot actually moved, and then the left side of my body debilitated. Bottom line, I could not move, and I went into the hospital. Obviously, went into the rehab hospital and so forth and so on. My journey was a whole year. So bottom line, guys, 44 years old, healthy gentleman. All of a sudden, I had 3 strokes within 24 hours. I thought I was going to be paralyzed for life. But let me tell you this, Danny, what is even worse. I learned from my neurologist, the reason why I had 3 episodes of a stroke is because the clot where it actually hit me in my brainstem, the worst place for a clot to hit, the clot actually broke up in patches. So it actually moved a few times. That's why I actually am where I am today.
Wow.
That's why I'm whole today. So I actually asked my neurologist, Danny, I said, so are you telling me that a breakup was a good thing? He said, absolutely it was.
That's really
Audience, I'm telling you right now, audience, there are some things in your life to break up with. And I'm not just talking about people. I'm talking about maybe it's an attitude, maybe it's a mentality, maybe it's a current work situation. Whatever it may be, guys, understand that a breakup isn't always a bad thing. And definitely in my situation, Danny, with these clots actually moving and that clot actually breaking up inside of my brain, has me where I am today. I wouldn't be on the phone with you right now if I didn't go through that breakup. So that's what happened to me 8 years ago, February 9th, 2015.
Now, you got to talk a little bit more about that first stroke. I don't think I knew until just now that you had 3 strokes. I know you had 2. You had 3. Why didn't you go to the doctor after that first episode?
3. Absolutely. I did not know. Even though I've been working in the pharmaceutical industry now for 17 years, I didn't know. Of course, I've heard about things like that. But, again, they say a lot of people have what they call TIA, transient ischemic attack, where you may just have a headache all of a sudden. All of a sudden, you can't see out of one eye, but then it comes back. So what happens is you have these episodes, but your faculties kind of come back. So you think, oh, it wasn't anything. But, no, it was actually a stroke. It's called a mini stroke. It's called a warning stroke. And sure enough, within 24 hours, I had a big stroke and then another right after that. So that's how I had 3 strokes in 24 hours.
I love that you're giving us this. No, go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry. And survived it. So there are a number of lessons that I've taken from that situation and applied them to not only my life, my personal life, but to my work situation, my spiritual walk, my philanthropic work, whatever it is that I do. There's something that I attribute to the situation I went through that has helped me come out on the other side. So here's the deal, audience. Can you extract the value out of the adversity that you go through? That's the key to life. That's the key to winning. You want to win. You want to get to the other side. You want to get out of that mess that you're in right now. Extract the value out of that mess. Turn your radio station to the station WIIFM. WIIFM. What does that mean? What's in it for me? Come on.
With any situation that you're dealing with right now, what's in it for you? What's your takeaway? I always ask people that when they say that they're going through something in their life, the first thing I say is, hey, what are you taking away from it? What are you learning? What are you growing from it? So I tell you what, if you learn to extract the value out of any situation that you're in, it's going to add value to you. And what you're going to do is now you're going to sprinkle that value on others, not just in a motivational way, but now because you've added value. Now your energy is different when you go into work. Now your energy is different when you're meeting people. Now your energy is different when you're networking. Now your energy is different when you're trying to come up with new ideas. Now your energy is different when you're on the Danny Morrison show.
Let's go!
Right? Because the energy, because why? I have extracted the value out of every adversity that I've gone through in my life. And yes, that was the strokes. That was the big one. But you know what? I had strokes prior to that. Let me tell you, I'm not the only stroke survivor on this line right now that is listening. See, a stroke is a brain attack, right? Mm-hmm. Haven't we had other attacks in our lives? Some of us have gone through relationship strokes, financial strokes. I can go on and on. I was a teenage father. By the time I was 20, I had 2 children. Those were strokes. See, I actually had some practice in extracting value out of adversity even before the strokes, which I think helped me navigate my way through the stroke. But let me take a step back, guys, as I talk to our audience that I know is probably about 90% African American.
Hold that thought, T, because I know you're rolling right now. I want you to continue that thought, because when you're bringing up the black community, I definitely want you to touch on that. We're talking to Terrence Miracle Manoy, who is revving up right now. As you can tell, this is what my boy does. He is a monster on the microphone. 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. Terrence Miracle Manoy, inside my Post One-on-One Danny Morrison Show. Stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. From middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
It's
Black Music Appreciation Month, one of my favorite months of the year. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you in part by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. What's up, SoCal? Here are a few Black Music Month events to help you celebrate. First stop, throughout June, Disneyland is honoring the history of Black music with bands performing hits by Black artists from various decades. Next, catch the screening of Heart and Soul, a love story at the Grammy Museum, June 8th in the museum's theater. And on Juneteenth, that's right, June 17th, join Mayor Karen Bass and Councilwoman Heather Hutt on Jefferson Boulevard for the naming and ribbon cutting ceremony of the New Orleans Corridor, followed by a second line parade all the way to the main stage in front of Harold and Bells for a concert celebrating Black music with Terrace Martin and Friends, Irvin Mayfield, 1500 or nothing, and more. Visit NOLA2LAtickets.org. NOLA2LAtickets.org. Fun fact, President Jimmy Carter established June as Black Music Month in 1979. Here's to 44 years.
The pandemic may be over, but many Angelenos could be at risk of losing the place they call home. It's important to know your rights as a residential renter in the city of LA. Did you know eviction protection still exists for unpaid COVID-19 rental debt that was due before March 31st, 2023? And that you have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice, also known as an unlawful detainer. Learn more about your rental rights at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
If you're a business owner or lead a nonprofit that's between 26 and 49 employees, please listen. Lendistry is proud to announce a new program whereby small businesses and nonprofits may qualify for reimbursement of COVID sick leave expenses incurred in 2021 or 2022. This program is administered by the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. Eligibility criteria apply and funding is limited. For more information, visit COVIDPaidSick.com. If you're a business owner or lead a nonprofit that has between 26 and 49 employees, please listen. Lendistry is proud to announce a new program whereby small businesses and nonprofits may qualify for reimbursement of COVID sick leave expenses incurred in 2021 or 2022. This program is administered by the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. For more information, visit COVIDPaidSick.com.
As a dentist, I know what my patients are saying when they really can't speak. She says her gums have been bleeding. Is there anything you can do? Absolutely. You can try New Crest Gum Detoxify and Restore. Yup, New Crest Gum Detoxify and Restore is professionally designed to start healing gums from day one. Right. Healthy gums, healthy mouth.
Crest Gum Detoxify and Restore. Smile. Crest has you covered.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Smack dab inside my Post 101 with Terrence Miracle Manoy, talking about his experience overcoming obstacles, and he almost met his maker a number of years ago. Now, you were about to touch on the African-American community on this entire topic of conversation. Let me step to the side once again. Tell me how this correlates to our people. I know a part of it is we need to get ourselves checked, right?
Come on. So let me bring it to our guy, the late great Nipsey Hussle. In the song "Face the World," one of his lines, he said, "No matter what you're into, no matter what you've been through, I come to tell you, you have something to contribute." Once again, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you're into, I come to tell you, you have something to contribute. Now, of course, we think about contributing to the world, but let's start here. Let's contribute to ourselves, our community. Let's start with us, right? Let's contribute to ourselves by what? Adding value by taking care of us, right? One of the reasons why I was able to, well, the doctors say that I came through this very adverse situation is because prior I was an avid workout. And I was just like you, Danny. I was in the gym all the time. Matter of fact, we used to run into each other at the gym all the time.
That's right. Yeah.
I worked out on a regular basis. I didn't eat like a rabbit or anything like that. But I wasn't, I'm not some big husky guy or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, guys, let's take care of ourselves. Rather, it may not be the gym. It may be hiking for you. It may be just walking. As a matter of fact, Danny, my cardio now consists of 30 minutes of incline walking. It's not the running like it used to be, back in the day. Let's try to eat better. Let's try to make these small pivots so that we can improve our health as time goes on. And especially for those of us who are aged now, I'm 52 years old, our bodies respond differently when we eat certain things, drink certain things. So let's take heed to the messages that we're hearing about taking care of our bodies so that we can contribute more to our community, right, to our family, and contribute to this world in any way that you do it. I choose to do it this way in motivational speaking and through coaching and things that I do, in my full-time career as well in the pharmaceutical industry. But you may do it like you're doing it, Danny. You're doing it through the radio. Mm-hmm. Somebody else may do it as a Sunday school teacher. Whatever way you contribute, you feel like you are getting fulfillment, right? Not just success, but fulfillment. Go ahead and do that so that we can make this world a better place before we get out of here.
We're talking to Terrence Miracle Manoy inside my Post 101 Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a few more minutes here, about 5 minutes here. My biggest obstacle that I go through when it comes to taking the information that I learn and passing it on to the populace, especially African Americans, I'm dealing with history. I'm dealing with tradition. I'm dealing with what family used to do. My mama used to cook them hog maws. My mama used to always make fried chicken every single Sunday. My family used to get together every Sunday and have some fat-filled dinner, that's for sure. I tell you that. Whole bunch of fatty foods on the table. Mm-hmm. How do we get our community to understand that healthy is better? Health is wealth. And especially, not just physical, mental health is wealth too. Trying to break through that barrier has been very difficult. How can you and I, in whatever platforms our respective platforms, do a better job in conveying that message to the African American community?
And you know what, Danny? It starts with us. It starts with us to be an example, really practicing, what we preach. And again, going back to us continuing to be a commercial. And let me tell you, brother, you are doing a fantastic job of contributing to this world, contributing to this community. Your voice, I hear people complimenting you all the time on what you do. Continue to do what you do. Because really, Danny, we can't, we can't go into anybody's house and slap the fork out of their mouth, right? We just can't do it. But all we can do is chit chat and talk and preach in some instances of really trying to be an example. I'll end with this, Danny, when it comes to that. So I talk about these topics and then some as I'm in front on the stage, whether it's corporate America, different organizations. I try to make sure that I actually look the part. So for me, I take pride in my appearance in that here I am asking you to change your life doing A, B, C, D. Well, I want to make sure that I look the part as well, that I look like I'm fit. I look like I'm doing the best that I can to be in shape. So it's okay to have a little pride when it comes to that, guys. So, don't be afraid to say, hey, I'm going to improve myself. You can be a little vain, do it for a little vanity. Nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. If that's going to push you, right, if that's going to serve you to make sure that you're taking care of what's going into your body so that what's coming out of your body, your mouth, what you preach, your energy that you give is improved, then so be it. But, Danny, I think, again, it starts with us, but, again, it's people like yourself with the tremendous voice that you have, and you got that physique, too. You know what I mean? So you actually walking. Well, hey, audience, I want to let you guys know, even us as young teens, Danny looked like he looked right now, right? He worked out the same way. The guy, good. Danny's a good-looking brother and always had great, awesome energy. I'm so proud of you, my friend.
Man, oh, man. Don't make your brother Misty up in here, man. I appreciate you. All right. In closing, by the way, I appreciate the kind sentiments. In closing, tell people how to cop the book. Tell people how to get to your website. Tell people your socials. Tell people how they can get in contact with you, Terrence Miracle Manoy.
Guys, I'm Terrence Miracle Manoy. You can follow me on any platform at Miracle Manoy Motivation. I'm not big on social media, but I do plan to grow and get better. I would love for you to follow me. I do put out some positive messaging that way. TerrenceManoy.com is my website. Okay, I inspire individuals and teams, right, to reach their highest human potential, their highest performance, and their highest impact as well. So maybe you work for a company, maybe you have a team that you're looking for someone to come in and sprinkle some inspiration. Hey, I'd be happy to serve those folks as well. Again, you can reach me at terrencemanoy.com. And again, all of the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, Miracle Manoy, motivation. I look forward to hearing from folks.
Give love to Terrence Miracle Manoy. Andy, I'm telling you, that was absolutely
Yes,
fantastic. You blowed up the spot, man. Blowed it up. I appreciate you, King. And let me just say in closing, all the kind words you're giving me, I am inspired by you. And I got to tell you, when you were going through your crisis a few years ago, you strengthened my faith in God. Watching what you went through, watching you still give God the praise, watching you get back up from almost being a dead man and giving God the praise, and now using that experience that you went through to inspire others ain't nothing but God. And every time I see you online, I'm hoping to get you in studio in the next couple of months here, I see nothing but God. Yes. And God bless you in everything that you do moving forward, King.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Anytime you need me, Danny, you know I'm there for you. We'll get together real soon. And again, I'm extremely proud of you and everything that you're doing, and more so what you're going to do in the future, man. God bless you.
Ooh, God bless you too. I appreciate you, King. Have a good one, okay?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Everybody is just so loving tonight, man. I'm getting so much love tonight, man. That means a lot to me, y'all. It does. I don't take it for granted. You know, when I'm around Los Angeles or I'm at events and stuff, when people come up to you and they tell you that stuff, you almost look at them like they got doodle on their face or something because you can't believe it. Like, well, no. Man, I rock with you, Danny Morrison. And all I say is, you know what? I guess I'm hoping God is pleased with what we're trying to accomplish on this program every single night. Andy, do you think that we're going to get to the pearly gates and God going to say, well done, whatever God you serve? God is going to say, I'm pleased, young man. Very well done.
You really want to answer for me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I don't even know why you asking me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no Dr. Ray Hagen.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? If we're going to have him up in there on Tuesday, and Imran's going to run for the hills again, but that's a different
I'd like to believe that, yes.
Yeah. I've been asked if this is a religious program, and I go, kinda. You gonna get a sprinkle of some God when you come up in you. Even though Kwamel, I see your comments. Come on now. I'd love for you to call the show and back that comment up, you know, but at the same time, we're going to sprinkle a little bit of God. I ain't going to force feed you no God. I'm going to be like Terrence Miracle Manoy was just now. You know, in all of his travels, and this cat travels all around the world, he not force feeding you God, but his entire message, it exudes God. It oozes God, what he's talking about. And he ain't no pastor, although I think he could be. I'm just saying. TerrenceManoy.com. TerrenceManoy.com. Terrence Miracle Manoy. Appreciate you, King. When we come forward, we got some upon further review. I got some comments I want to read. I got some DMs coming in. It's crazy. We'll take your phone calls as well. 1-800-920-1580. You are smack dab inside the Danny Morrison Show. KBLA Talk 1580 right now. News and traffic. Check it out.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton, and here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The man accused of killing a homeless black man with a chokehold in a New York City subway has released a video statement through his attorneys. In the series of videos, Daniel Penny recounts his thoughts leading up to the encounter that resulted in Jordan Neely's death on May 1st. Penny says he was not trying to kill Neely, but just to restrain him until police arrived. Penny has been charged with